Sci-fi icon at Comic-Con calls out woke sci-fi trend and burns it down. I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this is what's next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo here. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose, weekend edition. Well, the San Diego Comic-Con, yes, the legendary mecca of everything that is comic related, from shows to movies to stars to illustrators to writers to cosplayers, make it their trek, pun intended, to get there once a year. And of course, this is the first time since 2019 where everyone is allowed to come. But two things. One, masks are in effect there. Sadly so. The COOF, and I did a story about this a few videos back in regards to this nonsense. And in regards to stars, you have William Shatner, yes, legendary Star Trek captain, James Tiberius Kirk himself, who is no stranger to making his comments known regarding today's sci-fi nonsense, was on a panel with one Kevin Smith. Yes, that same Kevin Smith who wrecked He-Man. And Shatner is none too happy about today's sci-fi trends. Let's take a look. This comes out abounding in the comics. William Shatner blasts recent Star Trek TV series, says creator Gen Roddenberry would be rolling over in his grave with some of this stuff. According to Star Trek icon William Shatner, the recent slate of Star Trek offerings produced by Paramount are so abysmal that not only do they strongly pale in comparison to the original series, but they feature some stories and direction that would have the original franchise creator Gen Roddenberry turning over in his grave. Shatner opined on the present state of Star Trek during an hour-long panel centered on his life, held as part of the San Diego Comic-Con 2022 festivities. Aptly titled Shatner on Shatner, and hosted by Kevin Smith, whose upcoming Masters of the Universe Revolution garbage will see Shatner join the cast as a voiceover, but a undisclosed role. The panel saw the actor offer his thoughts on various topics relating to his life, including the recent space flight and the overall presence of both himself and his role of Captain Kirk in the pop culture zeitgeist. The actor eventually broached the topic of Star Trek after a fan playfully asked if he had a message for fans of Star Wars whose favorite franchise has been presented as a diametrical rival to his own. His comments? Fuck Star Wars, but not Mark Hamill, he replied, prompting Smith to affirm, we love Mark Hamill. Of course, he is one of the voices on She-Man, or Shim, I don't know what it's called these days. Having been led to the subject of Star Trek, Shatner then asked if he thought any of the franchise's recent television endeavors, such as Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, held a candle to his own, to which he declared, none of them. I got to know Gen Roddenberry in 3 years fairly well, records Shatner. Harkening back to his time on the set of the original series, he'd be turning over his grave with some of this stuff. Though unrelated to his thoughts on Star Trek, Shatner's panel appearance also saw him express frustration with the convention's strict mandatory COOF masking policies. Unable to make out a fan's question due to the interference of the face taper with the Q&A microphone, after asking them several times to remove it in order to be understood, Shatner explained, not only did I not understand what he's talking about, but I don't understand who's he talking to. Though Shatner has more than his fair share of issues with the franchise's recent television outings, the actor previously expressed interest in returning to the role of Kirk in J.J. Abrams' fourth cinematic entry into the Kelvin timeline, which of course not a fan of. J.J. Abrams is a wrecker of franchises. Noting at the time that the film currently has no cast details, USA Today reporter Brian Alexander asked Shatner in 21, is Prime Kirk making his first appearance in the new movie timeline? It's time, to which the actor replied, I agree with you. We need to see Kirk Prime 55 years after the fact and maybe 20 pounds heavier, Shatner replied. How would you explain their dilemma? Speaking to Alexander, note, and the film currently has no cast details. Shatner then added, what you just asked about the movie is news to me, and I'm delighted to hear it. However, he concluded, my studio connection is frayed. Not afraid, although I'm a little afraid of being frayed. That's Shatner. My thoughts. William Shatner, James Tiberius Kirk, legend, made his thoughts clear regarding the current Star Trek garbage that is being spewed and vomited courtesy of Paramount. Well, then again, what is your surprise? And shouldn't surprise anyone that the studio went woke. And when you have J.J. Abrams, to me, bad reboot, and to possibly do a fourth movie, and I really hope to God that they don't, because they ruined I like the first outing, Christopher Pine, it was nice, and it paid homage, but the second one went downhill, having Cumberbatch as Khan. Oof. And then, of course, the third outing was not to my liking. But Shatner slamming Star Wars, not a surprise. Shatner joining Kevin Smith's He-Man dumpster fire, that is a surprise. And I've been on Twitter lately in regards to He-Man, and to me, I'm no fan of it. To me, when Kevin Smith basically to try to make this the Teela episode, and then of course the Evil Lynn episode in the second part of the 12-part series, dude, you insulted a lot of people who are nostalgic like myself, who grew up with He-Man, who watched the cartoons, and then for you to trash it like the way you did, yeah, dude, you get no apologies from me calling you an ass clown. But I take nothing away from Shatner. He's keeping himself relevant, and for him to say Gene Roddenberry would roll over in his grave with the trash that's being spewed out there regarding his legendary character's namesake, yeah, total agreement. Total agreement. And with that, I'm Jazz Barganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more shows like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.